Hello, everyone. I'm back again. This time, I want to share the top 10 best performers in the S&P 500 in the month of June 2026. This is a chart of these top 10 best performers. If you want me to share this slide deck, please comment in the chat. All right, just type share in the chat, and then I will make it available to you. All right. So without further ado, let's start with the first company, Corning. Corning with the ticker symbol GLW. So Corning is the top performer in the S&P 500 in the month of June 2026. So what does Corning do? Corning is a glass and material science company. The product sits inside many of the trends we care about. You know, data centers, they need fiber optic cables. Uh, Communications, they need fiber optic cables. Apple needs glass products for their wearables, for their mobile devices. Meta is a partnership with Corning, right? So Amazon recently signed a deal with Corning. I won't be surprised if more deals kick in towards the end of the year, the second half of the year. So Corning is in for the long haul. I won't be surprised if Corning hits 400. Um, um, I won't be surprised if they hit $400 by the end of the year, even more. So be on the lookout for Corning. The next company is Charter with a ticker symbol CHTR. So Charter is up about 12.51%. Trades are Spectrum to consumers. The core is broadband, cable TV, and a phone for millions of consumers, millions of homes. But the growth angles are mobile. So the growth really came from mobile, their mobile business, wireless plans bundled into the network, and then enterprise services. So that's Corning. Sorry, that is a Charter. So it plays around the telecom and broadband industry. So they came up with 12.51% in the month of June. Then there is Western Digital. If you have been following the stories lately, the news lately, uh, data centers, they need storage. They need storage. And the moment Western Digital came out, it was up. It was up. If you have shares in Western Digital, feel free to post in the chat. Feel free to post in the chat. And how long have you been keeping it? How long? How long have you been keeping it? So Western Digital is up about 10.69% in the month of June. So that's one of the biggest player right now in the storage. They make both hard drives and flash solid state drives. They sell under brands people recognize, like they sell under SanDisk. So they actually split earlier, a couple of months back. So the demand driver to stress is cloud and data centers. You know, so data centers, cloud operations, they need storage. They are in shortage. So that's why SanDisk, Western Digital, all of a sudden became a big name in AI infrastructure. And the stock is still going up. So be on the lookout for SanDisk. There's KLA. As a matter of fact, KLA was actually selling for like $2,400, $2,400 as at early June. They did a four stock split towards the end of the month, and now you can get it at around $260. As of the time I was recording this, it was around the 260 thereabout. So you can check out uh, KLA Corp, ticker symbol KLAC. They are up 10.60% in the month of June. So what do they do? So it's a semiconductor equipment. Their niche is process control, inspection, metrology tools that catch atomic defects so that chip makers know their wafers are good before cutting them. So ultimately, what I'm just trying to say is that KLA is quality control for chip factories. So it's like a middleman. Whether you are Amazon, you are Google, you are Oracle, you will need KLA core. So they are in high demand. And that is where I'm going to be putting my money. The companies that are in big players in the AI. I mean, this company rose to $2,400, and they did the stock split, and is already there's a new price target, like over $315 price target already. So it's gonna run. It's gonna run again, and I'm in for the long haul. So KLA is quality control for chip factories. As chips get smaller and more complex, that role gets more valuable. The next company is Applied Materials, ticker symbol AMAT, 10.37% approximate gain in the month of June. So Applied Materials, this is the broadest of the equipment players. Their machines, deposits, implants, materials that build a chip layer by layer. So they also do display equipment and solar, yeah, energy, right? So if KLA inspects, Applied Materials builds. All right. So Applied Materials, like the KLA core, is like the quality control. Applied Materials build the infrastructure. So they sell the picks and shovels to nearly every cloud, every data center infrastructure around the world. The next company I'm going to talk about is Lam Research, ticker symbol LRCX, up 8.40% in the month of June. Lam Research specializes in depositing thin films and plasma etching. They are carving the nanoscale patterns into the wafers. These are technical thoughts, right? You can read more on that, right? Just giving you some tips there. Their edge is in the advanced memory, especially the vertical 3D NAND architectures that pack more storage into the same footprint. All right. So they are focused specialists in the hardest edge and deposition steps. There is also another, Seagate is another data storage company, just like Western Digital. So they focus on high storage capacity for enterprise and cloud architecture. So if you're familiar with Western Digital, then Seagate. So remember Seagate, we used to buy Seagate memory card. Bro, Seagate is well advanced. They're not just memory card manufacturers right now. They do more than memory card. So think the massive nearline drives that fuel cloud and surveillance systems. All these large language models that you are using in Copilot, in Claude, in Amazon, on Gemini. They need storage. All these prototypings, right? All this data that we are using for our AI solutions, they need storage. They need persistent storage, long-term storage. So this is where Seagate comes into the play. Seagate and Western Digital, right? So they are right, and guess what? There is short demand. There is high demand for storage, right? But there are no sufficient infrastructure for storage. So anyone that is into storage right now is going to make a ton of money in this dispensation. Then in the cybersecurity scape, there is the Palo Alto Networks. If anyone is in cybersecurity, you'll be familiar with Palo Alto Networks, the ticker symbol PANW. So Palo Alto Networks is up 8.12%. This is the cybersecurity name. Started with providing firewalls. Now they are broad platform covering cloud security and AI-driven threat detection through Cortex. All right. So so if your cloud infrastructure, your what do you call it, your AI infrastructure, you need to secure them, right? The more innovations, the more security exposure all these systems are going to get. So somebody has to protect all this AI infrastructure. So this is where Palo Alto Network comes into play. And there is the Tesla, right? Who doesn't know Tesla? So Tesla, ticker symbol TSLA. I'm not going to say so much about Tesla. You already know. Most likely, you are watching this video and you are watching this in a Tesla vehicle, or you're using a Tesla battery. All right. So Tesla is into lithium. They also manufacture batteries, lithium batteries, megapacks batteries. They are into solar grid infrastructure. All right, they are into full self-driving. So there are a lot of things that Tesla do, as a matter of fact. And they just released a new line of business, which is SpaceX. So expect more from Tesla as we proceed. Then there is Teradyne. Finally, Teradyne. Teradyne is last on the list of the top 10, about 6.796% in the month of June 2026, but it's still a solid gain. All right. So with a Teradyne, they're into robotics. So they provide automated test equipment that validates the chips and the boards before they ship. So you see that the data center infrastructure ecosystem is a lot. You just have to figure out where you come in. There's the energy sector, there is the semiconductor, there is the cooling, there's the water supply engineering. So there is always a niche for everyone. So the Teradyne sits at the intersection of semiconductors and factory automation. So it provides that connective tissue for integrating the robotics in our AI ecosystem. So ultimately, what we're just trying to emphasize here is that you know you need hardware, you need a Corning for the glass infrastructure, you need connectivity. That is where Charter Broadband comes in, Palo Alto, securing the network connectivity. There's Tesla for energy, electric vehicles. Yeah, so this is a lot, right? And we are just transitioning into the second half of the year. So expect more surprises. So if you are looking for stocks to invest your money in, you can look up, right? So I'm not a financial advisor, okay? So you must do your due diligence. Make sure you are convinced of the business and you have money to invest, right? So don't use your mortgage money to invest. Don't use your children's school fees to invest. So I'm going to see you on the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.